Back here at Bobby Dodd Stadium at historic Grant Field, we've seen some of the orange of Syracuse out here warming up. They have gone back into the locker room. Meanwhile, a lot of the Yellow Jackets out on the field here at the moment. Still cloudy skies, but really good football weather if the rains hold on.
Perfect football
weather.
Perfect.
You're right, Sean Bedford. Perfect would be it's better than good football weather.
That's right.
It's perfect football weather, and we have the perfect guest here to talk about some things about this community and the service that Atlanta Medical Center provides for everybody. And I, to be honest with you, Bill Moore, President and CEO of Atlanta Medical Center, until you reminded me, I should have known this from being working at 11 Alive for 29 years or so, about your facility being one of the few trauma centers in the state.
Yeah, we're one of 5 level 1 trauma centers in the state of Georgia, 2 here in Atlanta, and that does surprise people sometimes, as well as the fact that we've been around serving this community for 113 years.
That says something. And if you folks are going, wait a minute, it was. Some may know it as Georgia Baptist.
Yes, it had a proud history, just like Georgia Tech. That our hospital has a proud history, but for most of its history was known as Georgia Baptist until the 90s when it was changed to Atlanta Medical Center.
You and Sean Bedford have a common interest in sports in a way, because your daughter played tennis in this area. And Sean, I didn't know this until you told me a while ago. You had a classmate that did relatively well.
Yeah, no, I actually had a couple classmates on the Georgia Tech Women's National Championship tennis team, and Amanda McDowell was the individual champion. But it sounds like Bill's got a little bit of a connection there too.
Well, my daughter Kelly Moore and Amanda were very good friends for as long as I can remember. 7 or 8 years old, and they both started playing and played each other in juniors and through high school. And my daughter ended up with UGA, if I'm allowed to say that here.
Only once.
Yeah, you've reached your quota for the day.
And continued. The teams continued to play each other.
That's fine. That's fine. That's good stuff. Now, you grew up in Massachusetts, though, so break down the ALCS for me.
Well, I remain a diehard Red Sox fan. If you grow up there, it's hard to ever lose that. And I think they've got a really good shot of taking it to St. Louis and doing okay in the series.
One thing that your facility does is you actually, just like Georgia Tech or any great institution, you produce people who go on from there, because you're a teaching facility as well, right?
Yeah, we are a teaching hospital. A lot of people don't know that about us, but we have residency programs in orthopedics, general surgery, internal medicine, and family practice. And over the years have trained thousands of physicians who've gone on to practice often in the state of Georgia. About half our doctors stay here in Georgia, so it's a great service to the community.
Now, this is something I have to admit. I'm literally, no pun intended here, diving in. You offer water berths?
Yes, that is something that a lot of people aren't aware of, but there is a population of women in Atlanta, childbearing age, who want to have natural childbirth and, in fact, want to experience that labor in a water tub. And we are, I believe, to be the only hospital in Atlanta that offers that service.
Really? Wow.
Yes. And it's very, very, not everybody chooses that. Obviously,
sure.
It's an option. But
we're all about options here.
A little different option, but it's a service that we're pleased to be able to provide and meet a need in our community.
Interesting. Any idea what percentage of women choose that? I mean,
it's not a large percentage of all the women that we deliver, but for the folks who really have a strong desire for natural childbirth, maybe about 25% of them, 25% of them choose to have water births, if they can.
See, I step on campus, I learn things.
Every time you come here.
Mostly, and this is my shortcoming, mostly by accident. But I know you follow college sports really, really, really closely, though. So, I mean, what's your favorite?
Well, I love college football. I'm pleased to be able to be here today. I'm looking forward to this game with Syracuse. They have a great tradition, and I'm old enough to not to have seen them play, but to remember Jim Brown and know Ernie Davis went here. So I think it's great that Syracuse joined this league, and I'm looking forward to today's game. And I still follow, growing up in Massachusetts, I follow Boston College a little bit. I'll be torn when they play Tech.
Yeah. Well, because of Matt Ryan, we kind of, when they're not playing Georgia Tech, we kind of
have a soft spot.
Have a soft spot.
Absolutely.
Exactly. But one thing about Syracuse, I don't think we've mentioned this. I know we haven't today, is when you talk about the great heart-grabbing stories in college athletics, people think of Rudy at Notre Dame and Brian Piccolo, Wake Forest, and the Bears. But I'm not sure how often the Ernie Davis story gets remembered. And if you don't know, young man was a great running back at Syracuse, was drafted by the Cleveland Browns, who already had Jim Brown from Syracuse, and then died of leukemia before he ever got to play in the NFL. Just tragic, horrible stuff.
It's a shame, kind of like the Lenny Bias story in basketball.
But that is one of the stories that is bigger than sports.
Absolutely.
Okay, I guess that would be the way to describe it. Hey, we thank you so much, and everybody is so glad that the Atlanta Medical Center is a good partner. And if folks want to get some information, how could they do that? Maybe even if they'll come to the game today.
Right. If you're coming to the game, we have a booth at the Rec Fest, and we're giving out information about flu shots, which everybody, I hope, is interested in doing. And we have some hoodies and bandanas that you can wear and show your colors and support at Georgia Tech. And we're neighbors. I do want to get in. Since we are a little bit of a well-kept secret, we're just down the road about an exit or two off of Freedom Parkway.
Right.
And our hospital also offers a second campus in the East Point community. So we're a little unusual, one hospital with two campuses.
I knew that, and I forgot to bring that up. So thank you very much. And that does help folks as far as convenience. There's no question about that.
Right.
Bill, thanks for joining us very much.
Thank you, Randy. It's been a pleasure.
Enjoyed it a great deal.
Well, thanks, sir.
We're not done yet, though. We're going to let you go have fun. We're going to continue to work. Hey, we call this work. I know most people don't do that.
Where do you sign up?
It's a